Uh-huh.
So Cavil, Torkel, Palab, and it does some interesting things.
Uh-huh.
Like I feel like I don't play it well enough yet because there's been times where I've been like, after a game, I'm like, okay, I probably shouldn't have done that. Like needing to just like floor it with all three of them after the initial joust instead of trying to turn because
Mm-hmm.
you're freaking Y-wings and a hawk, they don't exactly turn, right? Um, but it's led to some interesting matchups and the great. So I have probably four new players. What crit was that? Oh, he's choosing whether or not to start. Um, and
Oh,
watching them play against that build has been very interesting.
I think Gunner's about to go off.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
uh,
that's what Morgan's
yeah, so
thinking
he's thinking
about.
about it.
And really, I think odds, like the safe bet would be to just take the shield, but odds dictate with 3 dice unmodified, you're gonna get 1.5 hits. 4 greens unmodified, you're gonna get 1.5 evades. So, statistically
It's
speaking,
it's
he
not it's
should
not it's not quite 1.5. It's a little less, right?
for the 4 greens.
Is it four? No, yeah, it's 12. No, that is. Yeah, that's 1.5, 1.5. Yeah, so he did.
So,
Oh, yeah, that was a wash. They both rolled high.
yeah, Tex, the frustration continues. And does his Vader have a shot now?
It's gonna be close. I think he's just out.
Yeah, just out.
Oh, sucks.
But yeah, I like the double hawk Y-wing just for the fact of watching my new players like try to think about how they want to deal with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's
Yep.
like there've been like a couple guys like would just refuse to focus.
Yep.
Like they're just it's like nothing but barrel rolls. Like all my time. Nope. Not giving you a chance to steal anything. Like you don't get actions, I don't get actions. I'm done with it. Like that's the game we're gonna play. Okay. And especially after somebody plays it like the second time or whatnot, this is like the first time they don't know what I'm gonna do with it, and I just like one forward for 3 turns in a row because I'm just stacking focus tokens up.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the second game, they're like 5 forward and boost. Like we're getting this on turn 2. You don't get all those tokens like you had last time.
Um. But yeah, so we were talking about state of the meta. One thing that's I've kind of talked about. I actually asked Morgan this question, and he said he feels like SNV on the whole just doesn't quite match up with Rebels and Imperials. And Sozin, you feel like the 88s is really the ideal list? That's at least so far before Wave 7 drops. That you feel like that's pretty much the best competitive list that SMV can feel right now, as far as you think?
Hmm. Yeah, I guess if you pinned me down and made me pick one, I'd probably pick robots.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I if auto thruster squints can just kill off the dash lists for me to where no one wants to play him anymore. I won a store championship with Kath and Emin, like Proxmine Emin.
Mm-hmm.
And I should not have won the store championship. I got really, really lucky in the final round because it was HLC Dash Corrin.
Mm-hmm.
And not only did I basically got free damage on Corrin for a turn with Kath, like she just happened to get a shot on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following, and take 2 of his shields. And the following turn, Emin put a Proxmine on him, and the kid rolled 2 hits and a crit and killed him before he could green move and get his shield back.
Wow.
And then after Emin proceeded to just die horribly without doing anything to Corrin, or to a dash, right? Just never had a chance of getting a shot on him. He trapped himself on a corner for 1 turn, like he tried getting out of arc and just barely didn't. And Kath was able to strip his shields. And then on the following shot, because he had to turn out of the corner, kind of a thing, I crit him to PS0 and took his pilot skill away.
Wow.
And PTL. Like, it was one of those fluke, he pulled 2 of the, like, 6 cards that would screw him.
Yeah.
And, but, like, that's the matchup that I can't beat with Kath Emin. Like most of the other matchups, I feel like I have a fighting chance, and they can do cool things too, because you have tons of prox mines, and it's great.
Especially now with the munitions upgrade coming in.
Yeah, so that one's going to be interesting.
Yes, it will.
Because you can't get the so on Emmon specifically, I feel like you're either going to run triple prox mine or double proton,
Yep.
right? And I don't know which one I like better.
Yeah.
Because I was running 3 prox mine, experimental interface, and recon spec, so that I could get the focus to live. And if I'm running the proton bombs, I don't know what I run. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I don't know what I do at that point.
Well,
All right.
I don't know. I was feeling like Tex was in a good spot, but now I'm not so sure because Rack is kind of trailing here, and Vader's kind of going into the den of the tiger. Is that what I'm looking for? But he's out there in front, and Loiken and Vader are kind of staring him down. Now he's thinking, what do you think he's thinking? Is he thinking about boosting to maybe get a little pot shot on Loiken, or is he thinking about boosting right to maybe kind of get away a little bit and circle back around him to buy Rack some time to work back into it?
Yeah, absolutely. Boost right. I mean,
So
you can't just wade into the maw of that tiger, as you say. It's going to get his head bit off if he heads in.
So I'm curious, because if he sits there, he can 2 right turn next turn, and is fairly safe, because Vader's got to unstress, and Oiken's got to hard turn. And he can focus evade. For Oiken might have a range 3 shot on him, and that's going to give Rack time to turn. And then on the following turn, he can do a 2 left, and then boost to kind of come back around.
Right, yeah.
So he's gonna, you know what I mean? He plays for 1 turn, or even like he 2 hard turns right, and then he boosts left to kind of make the.
Right. Actually, right. You're right, Tyler, because if he does a boost now, it limits his options.
Yeah, he can't do it next turn.
His angle will be wrong.
Right.
Because that asteroid's in the way of a hard turn. I guess he could boost and barrel roll, but
Sure. Absolutely.
well, maybe not.
Well, yeah, I think he'd have a barrel left if he did.
No. I think you're right. Leave him here.
But knowing Tex, he's going to think about this for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the more cautious people with his ace pilots that I've ever met. And that's saying something, because I never let Soontir get shot if possible. Yeah, we've got people in the chat saying people rather skip an action than give with 3 and 4 ships than give 1 token, and it's so true. Although I was last week I was playing Will, who you met at CAC Sozin, and he was running a dual PTL Brobots list, and he was just focus evading every turn, and he was just like, I'll let you pick what token I don't have, like I'll make you make that choice. Which ended up being a tough choice a lot, because it's like I want the evade token, right? Because it's just a good token to have on a hawk, but I don't get to keep those. So if I steal the evade and he doesn't shoot me, it doesn't do anything for me. Ugh. I feel like Scum needs to just be explored more too. Especially after Wave 7, them getting 2 new ships. That's gonna be a pretty big boon.
Yeah. The flying Jawa.
Yeah.
Sorry, the Houndstooth. Houndstooth, I think, is an incredible new ship. I'm
Yeah.
very excited.
It's I'm pretty excited for it. I'm excited that they have the whole like lifeboat ship Z95 mechanic.
Yeah.
Like strictly in the sense that like not for the Houndstooth in any way. Like I don't care in that regard as much, but it leaves us open to if they continue releasing epic ships to us seeing an epic ship that can drop like TIE fighters or something.
Yeah.
Which I think would be awesome.
Yeah. Like thematically, I think
Right.
that's a great idea. I'm really glad they came out with that.
My biggest question about it right now is how many points do you get for killing the Houndstooth? Like, do you get the 50 points it costs, and then you get 6 points for killing the pup ship, or do you get 56 points for killing the pup ship? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I don't think they've announced that, have they?
No, they haven't. Like, that's just that was the first place my mind went. Is it's like a 6 point upgrade that you might not use in some games, but at the same point with MOV, with having to build around MOV as much as you do, um, is that one of those? It's a 6 point investment to give you 4 extra hit points to run away with to save on your 56 point ship, kind of a thing.
Right.
Yes, and Scum getting a PS9 is stupid.
Yeah, especially it's a pilot I'm not familiar with. I guess some kind of EU thing going on there.
Yeah, that's a lot of people have kind of expressed their slight discontent with the fact that they finally do get one, and it's
Not
this,
boba.
yeah, this guy no one's really heard of.
Well,
Uh,
my big thing, like, you can, yeah, I mean, you could make a pilot or whatever. I mean, that's fine. But it's more along the lines of when they initially released Scum, they were like, they're gonna have to fight with a different advantage. They're not gonna be able
Exactly.
to abuse pilot skill.
Yeah,
And now we have a guy that can abuse pilot skill.
but still, there's certain things you have to compromise when you're making a game, and like it's nice to say thematically this is what S&V is going to be, but I mean that's what they said about Rebels at the start is like, oh, they're all going to be about synergy. Well, they're not really so much about that anymore. I mean, so you feel like they had to get a 9 eventually,
Yeah.
but but the other thing is like the ship on itself, it's really just an X-wing, really. So I was looking at it like I just really don't think it's going to get a whole lot of play, to be
It
honest.
100% depends on that dial.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you've got so it's the same manufacturer as the Seek interceptor,
Hmm.
right? Um, so if you've got a crazy like a Signor's loop of some
Yeah.
kind of a thing, you know what I mean? Like on that, so
That would be cool.
that could really set it apart. The other big thing is, I mean, I'm sure you guys have been reading what everyone theorizing and whatnot is if it's 20 points. Like if the base model at PS1 is only 20 points,
Hmm.
Right. Then they would have
um,
basically fixed the pricing for it.
Yeah.
right? Yeah, and you can get 5 of them on the table. Like that's a dangerous list.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But then if they do that, if they do that, I feel like the base pilot would have to be pilot skill 1 because then they're putting the X-wing. I feel like the rookie on the whole is really one of the more underused ships, if not the. And so they're really making it like they have to do something about the X-wing soon because I feel like if you compare a Tempest with the new title, it's infinitely better than a rookie. So I feel like it would have to be a 1. If it's not,
Yeah, I would
then
expect it to be a 1 for sure.
yeah. Wow. Well,
So yeah, did he clip?
I think he cleared it.
Oh, nice.
Man.
You can just see the star underneath. Um,
Yeah.
so I understand the 21 points on an X-wing, not wanting to see 5 of them in the game, like from the base of how they designed the game with.
Hmm.
Totally got it. Great. Um, the biggest so this goes back into, and I've had debates and arguments with lots of people, mostly on the internet, and I'm sure you understand how well that went. When you do pricing for a game and you look at what is meta, what is competitive in a meta, you those two things are vastly different things, and
Hmm.
you don't price for what's good in the meta, right?
Hmm.
Because that shifts. Like the what's popular, what's powerful is going to move based on what else is being played, what's when timings, all that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So everyone wants to complain about the rookie being just straight up worse than the B wing. The rookie is straight up worse in the B-wing because we've had the game shift to a more offensive nature from the point of when they came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the original game was released, like the Tempest and